Hey, Blue Table fans! Woo! Yeah! That's like 65% enthusiasm level. Yes, your heads would explode worldwide if I ever gave you 100%. Hey, how's it going? So, listen. Yesterday, I started an Age of Sigmar battle report with my 17-year-old son, and he was mopping me up. So we're gonna redo it today, and hopefully pay better attention this time. I'll pay better attention this time. So guys, yeah, I'm checking myself out. I'm like, oh, that's so nice. Oh yeah. All right, so, oh boy. First off, I bought some books. Now, what's with the books for the games? It's like if you bought every book that came out, it would be like 100 to 200 a month. That's crazy. That's so much. And then every 2 years, 4 years, in the garbage. Those 30 books you bought, dump. And actually now I wish I had kept them all. Like all the previous editions, because I'd have from 40K, I'd have from second edition. Second edition book looked like. First edition was Rogue Trader, basically. And with just like miniatures, like a skirmish game. Yeah, good old second edition. That's when I started playing, in about 97, I think it is. So guy, correct me if I'm wrong. Hey, brief history of Gately. Let's see. I got married in 1994 and divorced in 2014. So 20 years. Anyway, when I was going to college, it took me 6 years to graduate college, 93 to 99. And from 97 to 99, I owned a game shop in Medford, Oregon. I bet you didn't know that. Die-hard fans may know that who've been paying attention. It was called Invincible War Games. Now I wished, with the benefit of hindsight, that I had called it Invincible Games. That would have been a better name. But I really started it just to have a club to play, you know, Warhammer at. But it was quite an adventure, really an amazing thing. So anyway, all right, now with the books. But then today I was thinking, you know what, Sean? You're just, like, you shouldn't complain about something that, because I like them. I like the books. And I love hardcover books. And I don't think I'm going to throw them out. I think I'm going to keep the different sets. I'll just stow them somewhere. I really do enjoy them. And so I finally got this. Yeah, I know. A little late to the party, Sean. General's Handbook 2018. Now, the funny thing is they should publish these in January. Like, because I think this came out in like July. So like half of the year is already over. But whatever they're doing. So I've been looking at it. And it's pretty cool. It's pretty awesome. I think if you keep up on these, and like the different books have different scenarios and stuff. Even the army books have like this here. Let me just find one. This is the one my son and I are going to play. Wait, am I right? Nope, we're playing a different one. Anyway, this is what they look like. Like scenarios, right? And I think, yeah, I think they publish enough that you could probably do one a week. Do some different thing. And I think that's neat. In a way, the books have replaced the White Dwarf, in a way. Because the books have, like, scenarios, new models, new rules, and stuff like that. So, yeah, maybe better. They've switched the format. And that's something I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about later. formats. Then I also got this, chapter approved 2018. So pretty excited about that. And so I gotta skim through this. I gotta look through it. Pretty exciting. I don't know when this came out. It feels like maybe 4 months ago, like not too long ago. And so finally got my copy. I have a Studio Stormcast Eternals army for Age of Sigmar, and I've been playing that. And already I want to add things to it. So I'm really excited. It's got some great models to them, but I mean, geez, man, they are in the game points wise. The Stormcast are like expensive. Jeez. So I don't know. It's interesting. I do have some things coming in on trade for Age of Sigmar. Totally stoked about that. We had a 40K trade coming in. I think I mentioned it. Well, psych, because most of those just went into, like, the trade-in came, and it was a box, right? But the miniatures were just put in with no packing or anything. So they were like, they took up like a third of the bottom just loose. So my son, we just put them into like Kill Team stock. My son is really excited about Kill Team. He actually sorted them all out, and he's making Kill Teams out of them and all the bits that we have. So, but some of them are going on the web store, bluetablestore.com. You know, and I do a pretty good job keeping that place like with new things constantly. And well, it's just the extras and trade-ins and things like that. And so let's see, I got a Bretonnian army in trade. That is big news because those are super rare. And I'm gonna pull the, I don't know how long I'm gonna have it. Maybe a day, maybe 3 years. But I'm gonna hold on to that army because they're not making it anymore. And there's enclaves of guys who play the old school Warhammer, and Bretonnians, they're out of print. You just can't find an army like this. It doesn't exist. Like even if you're like, I'll just go to eBay and find out and make it from scratch. Oh no, you're not even going to find them. You're not going to find this amount of stuff, and it's all painted up, ready to go, and it looks good. It's a good looking army. It's a whole thing. I don't know if I had to estimate at least 2,000 points, maybe like 2,500. All right. So anyway, about that. So books. Oh, back to brief history of Gately. So I had my game shop through 99, and then in summer of 99, I got a job as a school teacher in San Francisco, and I was there until December 2003. In summer 2003, my father was diagnosed with cancer, and they gave him 3 months to live. He chain-smoked roll-your-owns, lifetime. And it was a real eye-opener just to go through that process and sort of understand it. And so for 3 months, and he was back in Oregon, so for 3 months we kept in touch. I called him every day. We talked for like an hour, I'd say. And he encouraged about this, and this was the exact same time that I had painted an army for a friend on my summer break, and he paid me, and I was like, oh wow, this is awesome. And then the next week, 2 guys from the gaming club came up and were like, hey Sean, we heard you finish so-and-so's army in a week. Because, by the way, that's always been like my thing, that I love to organize the army, have this plan for it, and get it done. Just to finish an entire army. Just, what a thrill. I love it. And it hasn't faded after all these years. And so 97 to 2017, that marks 20 years in the hobby. So anyway, so he encouraged me, and he also, like, I had like a mental break from it because I was there when he died. And I was just like, oh, here's this man, a tragic hero, let's say, but he lived a life with all these amazing things and made his mistakes, but had his triumphs, but that was it. oh, this is how it ends. And I've really had to like wrap my head around that. Like an existential crisis. And just this last year, I'm like, you know what, Sean? That was then, this is now. Your story is different. Everybody's story is different. It doesn't have to be the same. So you can't look at someone else and say, oh, that happened to them, so, you know, that's going to be my story, because that's simply not the case. And I look at my own son, who's now 17 and 6'2", and I'm just like, oh, his story is different than mine. And of course he's 17, so, you know, the regular teenage things. And his mother and I, who get along, and we really work together to be great co-parents. It's not going to be like, we can't take our story and apply it to him. And I look at him and I think, well, this is great. His life is already on a better trajectory than mine was, a different trajectory, a different way of doing things. And it's really, it's neat. It's neat to see that unfold. And and especially, I'm going to be 50 soon, in a couple of months. And the big 5-0, man. And for a while there, I was just like, brutal. You know, because like 50s, you're kind of old then. But looking back at it now, that I've sort of digested this, first off, I'm going to have a party. Second, I thought, you know, I've already done all my things. Like, for the most part, I've done it all. And I look back on my life with a great sense of satisfaction. Like, everything is okay. And I already accomplished all these wonderful things. And so everything from here on out is just icing. It's just like bonus material. And it's all right. It's like, because when you're younger, you have sort of this nagging feeling like, okay, well, I'm doing this, but I haven't arrived yet. I should be doing this. I should have a family. I should have a career. I should start a business. Well, guess what? Did all that, and you know, it's just, so I have this great sense of accomplishment. It's really wonderful. I wasn't going to talk about that. By the way, this is going to be a super long ramble. And let's face it, I do these videos not only because I'm a glory-seeking attention whore, but also to drum up business. And because that's what I do. I paint armies, I have a great crew, and this is a way to kind of stay on the radar, and people know me, they know my people to some extent, and you know, it's neat when somebody says, "Hey, I want you to paint my army." That's awesome. That's really wonderful. I love it. All right, so a couple things here. Let's see. I went to go get a burger the other day, and I'm highly suggestible. I was watching a show. Guy, what was it? Somebody was eating a hamburger in this show, and I was like, oh man, I need it. I need a burger. And I can't remember, what was it? It was like live action. It was How I Met Your Mother, the episode where they're trying to like find the best burger. And by the way, I've watched that show all the way through like 8 times now. It's just, what a great bedtime story, you know? Well, and that is the format. He's telling a story. So I go to the burger place. Just arriving at, and this is downtown Salt Lake, which is where I live. I live basically 120 seconds from downtown Salt Lake. And by the way, my house is awesome, and I love it. It's such a great location, and like physically how it is just tremendous. I'm getting life like I want it. All right, the burger place. God, I get distracted. All right, so I'm standing in line. I pull into the parking lot, and already I know I'm in trouble because the parking lot's crowded. I'm like, oh, I never come here during lunch. So I go in, Tony Burgers. on 4th South, in case you're wondering exactly where that is. I go in, there's a bit of a line, it's not too bad. And so the guy in front of me goes up, he has like a piece of paper in his hand, you know, and he's like, yeah, you know, he's like, I got a really big order. And the guy, like a little young manager type, comes and says, hey, we're short 2 people. And then I hear his total, and I'm just like, oh man, this is going to be like 30 minutes or more just for this one guy who was right in front of me. Like if I had just got there 10 seconds earlier, I would have been good. So I was like, oh, brutal. That's great. So the little manager guy comes out, and he's like, young, he wasn't little. And he's like, yeah, we're 2 people short today, so this is going to take a while. And I was like, oh, brutal. So, yeah, I had to take off. I went and got Chinese. And that was actually a good choice. It was all right. And there's a place called Cinnaholic, which is like cinnamon buns. And now I'm addicted to that place. Oh, man. I got to tell you, because last quarter, I did ballroom dance. I'm taking a break from it now because I have to. And but I put that. Well, let's see. I lost 16 pounds. And by the way, that looked pretty good. Not where it should be, but it was. Hold on, I just thought of another topic. Oh, that's the punchline. I went to a burger joint. There's a big line. And I got addicted to cinnamon buns. So anyway, so I lost 16 pounds, looking pretty good. But when I had to put on that skin-tight Latin outfit, you know, super slutty. I got to tell you, when I saw the video of me dancing around with my partner, who looked like, by the way, through the roof, it was like so disheartening. Like I had worked so hard. I was eating cottage cheese and watermelon and cucumbers, you know, for months. And I just could not kill that dad bod. And I looked great, but it wasn't enough to do ballroom dancing. So 16, and then now I'm up 7. So, you know, but seven's a big deal, man. Kind of personally, I think I look better with like the weight on. Like if you saw me at 165 pounds, I'm a beanpole. You know, like that's. I don't think that's even healthy. I got a Wii for the family. It's like, ooh, Wii Fit, and it's like, we'll measure your weight and da da da. It's like, what's your optimum weight? They told me 160 pounds was my optimum weight for 6'1", and I'm just like, what? Where? How would you even do that? And how would you add muscle mass on top of that? No. Then I started watching, like, when I was like getting in shape for the ballroom dancing thing. Awesome, I'm at 18 minutes. I'm not even halfway through. So the ballroom dancing thing, and by the way, the camera might just cut out, in which case I'll just do 2 parts. I was waiting for the volunteer. Oh, yeah, I was watching videos on, like, you know, other people's routine or how it worked. Inevitably ended up with like the superhero things, like Captain. If you want to look like Captain America, what do you got to do? Or like Thor. And it's like, you know what? I could do, if I put my mind to it, I could have the Thor body. Or something kind of getting up there close to it. Because Chris Hemsworth was at 220, and granted mostly muscle. And he is, I think, 6'2", I want to say. Or 6 foot tall? Can't remember. One of the 2. He's like an inch taller or an inch shorter than me. And I'm just like, oh. Because you look at these guys on screen and they think they're going to be Space Marines, man. They're going to be, you know, 7 feet tall. And so I was like, all right, I could do it. That Thor bod's coming, guys. It's coming. We're going to see how shallow those ladies are. All right. I'll probably regret saying that later at some point in time. Let's talk about the co-opting of the soul of a franchise. Yes! So, you guys have heard me talk before about Dungeons & Dragons. See if I can do this in like 30 seconds. So Dungeons & Dragons had first, second, third edition, 3.5, and everybody loved it. Then the company was bought out by Wizards of the Coast. Wizards of the Coast said, hey, let's get rid of all this nostalgic, clunky old D&D stuff. Let's make a new game. Let's make it, you know, they ended up making something a little like World of Warcraft. Like, it was very video gamey, 4th edition, and it was terrible. And some people loved it, but a lot of the fans, they threw the nostalgia out. And I gotta tell you, I played 4th edition because I kind of just, well, that's what they made. But at the same time, a company called Paizo came in and they made Pathfinder, and so they basically just took the legacy where the tree would have gone, and they made that. And it was great. And they became big and got all the sales, and they co-opted the soul of the franchise. Now, Wizards of the Coast, they got rid of 4th edition, thank goodness, and with 5th edition, they have now sort of got back the soul of what it is they were doing. In fact, it's better now, and I've been playing a lot of 5th edition with my kids. It's a great time. I really do want to get a role-playing thing going where it's like 18 and up, you know. But I think I'm going to do an Age of Sigmar group, and just, you know, once a week have that, but no kids. All right, so now, what else? Oh, co-opting the soul. Star Trek. Ha 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 ha. So I'm watching the Orville, and they had season 1. Nobody knows if it's going to go anywhere. I think there were 12 episodes. And this is on Hulu, by the way. So I'm watching the Orville, which, in case you don't know, is sort of a Star Trek homage, look-alike thing made by Seth MacFarlane of Family Guy fame. This obviously gave him the funds and connections he needed to do it. I don't think he's paying for it, though. I'm just saying, yeah, the connections at least. And so, but watching the Orville season 2, I realized that it had basically co-opted the spirit of the show. Like, I'm like, so the Orville is more Star Trek than what they're doing for Star Trek right now. And I look forward to your comments. Please do. So, the Orville it's great. I gotta tell you, I am loving that show. There was an episode, I wish I could remember the name of it. It was like episode 3. I'm just like, oh, these people, whoever's writing for the show, they get the soul of Star Trek, really, and at its halcyon, is that how you say that? At its zenith, it was the Next Generation in the 90s, basically. Like, that really sort of set this great tone for it. And here's another thing, that now it's impossible, because the Star Trek fan base is so bitter, so divided, so vocal, that you couldn't do anything with it that would please them. Star Trek's dead because of that. You know, like, there's no way you could do anything and have it be like CBS took Star Trek Discovery, they put the first episode on YouTube and left the comments on, which apparently they hadn't done before. And I went in there and I could not believe what I was reading. I'm just like, this is so negative. Oh my God. Wow, my hands are like white and my face is like pink. Look at that. Isn't that weird? Shouldn't it be the same? Oh, am I like some sort of weird mutant? So anyway, yeah, look at that. It's like my face is red. Do I have something? Is something wrong with me? I feel good. I gotta tell you guys, by the way, I feel super healthy these days. Like, everything's going great with this. A little bit of tinnitus. Like, I'm a little worried about that. I'm about to tackle it by understanding it and doing something about it. Okay, back to Star Trek. So, yeah, I couldn't, and I'm just like, oh, well, it's never gonna be the magic again. That's it. It's the magic. So, how can you recapture the magic of something. Well, you can't. There can never be a Star Trek that was the Star Trek that you loved when you were young and when that universe was first being explored. That's the trick. You can't revisit something and make it new and have it be the same as when it was new. Unless you do exactly what the Orville is doing and you create something new that actually somehow magically captures the soul of whatever it is and discover a new universe. And I'm just like, wow, that's awesome. And I've had the same thing with my company. Like, I put up videos and there's comments. What happened to the old crew? Well, guess what? 20-somethings don't stick around forever at the same job. They move on. And in fact, you might say, what happened to the old crew, 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 the old... I've had like maybe 20 crews, at least. Like, that's how it works. Like, there's people that sort of come and go. Oddly, nowadays, I actually have less turnaround than before. And so anyway, so that was my point. Star Trek Orville. Sub idea is with blue table painting. Like, this is sort of the new thing. I'm doing it more with my kids. I have a wonderful studio, but it's very humble. It's very modest. And this is on purpose. There was a point where I had 30 employees. And this was just from my garage. I just had my head down and was just like, go, 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 go. And then one day I was like, oh, this is what am I building this into? And I had like visions of empire. Like, I'm like, this will never stop. There will be 200 people. But there was a point where I was like, oh, this isn't getting more fun the more things I'm adding. It's like, there was a point in time where I was in this giant room. It was 4,000 square feet, like the big dance hall thing. And I was like, oh, I'm really only using like 30 feet by 30 feet of this room. Like, everything else was just like, all the stuff had just been dispersed out. And it was like this huge inefficient thing. And so I basically reworked everything. And I got to tell you, I love it. I'm not doing it a different way. And opportunities have come up. I've had at least 2 things where it's like, oh, Sean, here's this giant thing that you could do. Oh, but you'll have to scale up to 50 people or more. And I was just like, oh my gosh, that sounds like not fun. No thanks. I kind of just was like, ooh, yeah, and I just let that kind of float by. And what I have now is like, I gotta tell you, when I'm in this room, it's beautiful. I love being here. I answer my emails, I pack the packages, I sit down at my paint station, I paint for a while. But it's got sort of the best of both worlds, because I still have all those contacts, all the clients. I don't have to flail my arms around to make the sales every month. I just do whatever I please. And if I feel like flailing a little bit, I do that. And it's really great. It's really great. I wish I could tell you the whole story, but that's for another time. Well, and part of that is what I call low-tech theory, which is everything can go with nature or against nature. And when I say nature, I don't just mean the natural process like the seasons and trees growing and environmental cycle. That is part of it. But I mean with the nature of whatever it is. Like, what is my nature? Am I this great leader who builds up this empire? Well, apparently not. What am I? What is my nature personally? And if I go with that, I'll be at my strongest. I'll be at my best. And it won't be this, there won't be conflict. There won't be like this sort of like terrible feeling inside, like I'm not doing something that I should be doing, or I'm doing something that I shouldn't be doing. everything will just flow smoothly and it'll make sense. And I believe that humans have personal natures. Just like animals or plants or weather systems or whatever have natural natures. Like a dog has kind of like, well, what does a dog generally do? That's what a dog is. Don't try and put a harness on a cat and take the cat out for a walk, because they're not into it. And it's the same thing with humans too. It's like, well, what's the nature of humans? What are they like? And the nature of my business, like what is the miniatures assembly and painting industry? What is it like? And go with that. So I discovered that, because like you'll notice all the cover sheets on the project are handwritten. I could print them out and make them look all beautiful, and maybe I'll do that because I like it. But I gotta tell you, I found, you know what, it's just easier. It's just low tech. Like a Sharpie isn't gonna have a problem one day like the printer and not work. In fact, I got by without a printer for 2 years, hand printing like everything, or just doing it electronically on the computer. Didn't even need a printer. And now that I have one again, I use it very little. Like I don't need it that much. And so my theory has been like, wow, just keep everything the simplest form and make it low tech. Analog. Candles. Yeah, I'm going to get some candles soon. Loving them. Let's see. Oh, specials. Yes. First off, I have this thing called Hero of the Imperium Special. I've also called it a wholesale account, which is accurate. Basically, you pay a certain amount of money, usually a large chunk up front, but you get an amazing discount. So it expands out. Like the one I'm offering now, not always, they change, by the way. There's little variations. I'm offering just a couple of them, and it's $5,000, but you get $10,000 worth of work done. And it takes a while to do it, and but obviously a great deal. And it's like getting a wholesale account. And I have smaller ones too. But usually the buy-in is basically a chunk of cash. And that's the trade-off. I get the time use of money, and the person gets a great deal on whatever it is that they'd like us to do. So I'm going to provide links for that. And I only offer like a handful of them a year. Like I'm really judicious about when I'm doing these. So let's see here. So there's that. But then I thought of a different thing. I call it the Aspiring Warlord. And I'm going to put a link to that in the liner notes. And this is for the everyday person who is a collector. And so what you'll do is you will pay a certain amount per month. That's your part to follow through with it over a period of time. But it unlocks for you the leverage of the Hero of the Imperium. And I'm excited for it. So far, so good. I have some takers for it. And I'd like to sort of build that up just to a certain point. I'm still going to, of course, do my regular commissions. What else? Oh, yeah. So Games Workshop discontinued its gravel. It comes in a... Hold on, let me see if I have one. Yeah, I guess this will do. So it comes in like a little case like this, right? This isn't gravel, obviously. But they discontinued it, and I'm like, oh, they're probably just going to reformat it. But then I couldn't find it anywhere, and of course we need that gravel. So I set one of my artists to it. I put like a bounty out on it. I'm like, you know what? Give me a huge bin of gravel. Here's the specifications for it. Here's the pay. I had a taker. Like 3 days later, she just came in with all, and it was perfect. Oh my gosh, it was amazing. Just absolutely out, and she did a great job on it. So now, just as a news item, we are set for texture, aka gravel, for 4 years. We have so much. We have like 30 pounds of it. It's great. Yeah. Old Hammer. Why do I have that noted down? that's basically like when they went from Warhammer Fantasy to Age of Sigmar. There was a group that basically started, kind of wanted to hold on to that feel of the game, the square bases, the sort of moving around the bricks of guys, and that's generally called Old Hammer. I don't know why this is on here. Well, guys, I think I talked for a half hour, so that's it for me. And I hope I have managed to entertain you to some extent. And also, as a bonus, you did get to see my face. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's fantastic. Wow. Oh, my gosh, I'm so good looking. You should see me in the morning. Like when I get out of the shower, I'm like all dancing. Got some music going. What's my shower music, you know? All right, that's it. Oh, by the way, email me, bluetablepainting@gmail.com. If you email me some questions, give me some topics to talk about. That'd be really great, because I will do it. Don't think I won't.